Are you thinking, should I buy my next house first before I sell it? Or should I sell my house first before I buy? Watch this video because we're going to have some helpful tips for you. Hi, this is Melody Wilson with the ReLife team at REMAX Elite. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new videos every week. So today we're going to talk about the question I get a lot is, should I buy my next house before I sell my current home, or should I sell my current home before I buy? So today we're going to talk about what you should do. Big thing that you need to do very first off before going any further is talking to a professional realtor who works full-time like myself to find out what kind of market is the current real estate market in. The current market is going to dictate how quickly homes move, and that's going to be part of your plan if you should buy before you sell or sell before you buy. The other big crucial thing that you need to do before getting too far along the line is talking to a mortgage broker to determine if you qualify for a mortgage for what you want to buy next. That's one. You want to ask them also if you qualify for a bridge loan. We're going to talk about that in a second of what is a bridge loan to help you with that process. And also you need to talk to them about, can you buy your next house without selling your current home, or do you have to sell your current home in order to qualify to buy the next home? So those are the three important things to find out from the mortgage broker. And the other important thing to find out from the realtor is, what kind of market is it? Once you know all those items, now you can decide with the realtor what is the wisest thing for you to do to buy or sell before you move forward, especially when you have a family to think about and you're upgrading your house because you've outgrown your house, or maybe you now need an office because you work from home. How are we going to coordinate all this, and how is that going to work? So the next step that we need to figure out is, how much is your current home worth? We need to figure out how much your current home is worth and how quickly the average days on market is moving in your specific neighborhood and your type of home. Once we figure that out, we can then make the plan as to figuring out what your next home is going to be, what's the demand on that type of property, and then we can kind of decide, okay, if that kind of property is harder to find, maybe we need to find that first before we sell your current home. However, if the current market conditions takes a longer time to sell your home, we're likely going to want to put your house on the market first and get an offer before we look for your next house, because it takes longer to sell. If the average days on market is very low, then we're going to want to find a home before we put your house on the market, because we're going to want to make sure you're not homeless, right? So we help a lot of our clients coordinate this whole buying and selling at the same time. A lot of times what I advise is that your house is ready to be listed regardless of what market it is. We have a stager that works on our team that will help you get your home ready. So once your house is totally ready to go, we don't have to put it on the market. We can even get the photos done. We can have all that stuff and ready to go, but then we can start shopping first. Then once we find something or we're getting close, we can put the house on the market right away. But sometimes we need to put the house up first. So we got to figure out, of course, specific to you, what your specific situation is. There are things such as pending sale of buyer's home. A lot of people ask me if they can buy a house pending the sale of selling their current home. So this is definitely something that can be done. It's a condition that's written to the purchase contract. Now, it's not always the best, just because our negotiation power to purchase your next home may not be as strong. However, you might really love this home and don't want to lose it, and so you're willing to pay a little bit more to have that pending sale of buyer's home clause is. So let me talk to you about what the pending sale of buyer's home is. So when you find a house that you love and you negotiate a price, one of the conditions you would put in is, well, I'm going to buy this house at X price as long as my house sells by this date. So when you put an offer in like that, typically the sellers are going to want to make sure your house is either on the market already or going to be on the market within 24 to 48 hours. So that's one of the conditions. The other condition on that is that the sellers will have a protected clause, and they have the first right of refusal to challenge that offer. So what I mean by that is, let's say you put an offer, you've been accepted on a house for $400,000, you have conditions of financing, home inspection are regular conditions, but then you also have the pending sale of buyer's home clause. That usually you can put in 24-48 hours, a 24-48 clause The clause, what that means is you're pending. You have the first right of refusal. However, if the seller gets another offer, let's say the next day, and they negotiate an offer, which they can do, you still have first right of refusal. What they will do is if they come to an agreement on this offer, they will then notify the agent will then notify you to say, are you prepared to remove all your conditions? Otherwise, this one is going to take precedence because maybe this offer doesn't have a pending sale of buyer's home clause. So that's a little bit stressful, obviously, but especially when it happens like the next day. If it happens, let's say 2 weeks in, your house now is pending and you're almost at that stage where you could remove conditions, then it's not as stressful and you know you've got the house. You can say, you check with your mortgage broker, check with your realtor to make sure, yes, we can remove conditions. Then you would still get the house, and that offer, even if it's higher, they don't get it because you're the one that has first right of refusal. I know it's a lot to take in, so if you have more questions about how the pending sale of buyer's home clause works, make sure you comment or send me an email or message. I'd be happy to explain that in more detail, especially specific to your own situation. So let's say you are not doing the pending sale of buyer's home clause. What's the other options that you can do? So when you're coordinating the purchase of the next house, let's say you're building, or even let's say you're buying a resale home, and possession date means the day you get keys, is on December 1st. But your current home that we have now sold, the possession, we would ideally, when we're negotiating, we would negotiate that home would be December 8th. So it gives you like a week's time to move, right? So what happens in that week? Because in order to get your house on December 1st, you have to come up with all the funds for your down payment, and you may be waiting for your down payment from the proceeds of the sale of your home, which is most cases when you're upgrading, right? Because you've got equity built in your home and you're using that to buy the next house. We do what's called a bridge loan. So the mortgage broker has already coordinated this with you, and basically you have a bridge loan to give you that down payment at the lawyer's office so that funds can be transferred on December 1st so that you can get keys for that house. And then you're paying, in essence, 2 mortgages for that 1 week period of time. It sounds bigger than it actually is. It's actually quite small, and it's really good for the convenience of not having to move twice. So that bridge loan kind of tides you over until December 8th. When December 8th happens and your possession of your home is completed and the funds are in the account, then everything is paid off. The lawyers coordinate all of this and they pay off the bridge loan, and now you just have the one mortgage. So that's why bridge loans are really important to help allow you to only have to move once instead of having to take possession a week or two before of the old house. So you have to find somewhere to sleep for like a week or two, and then you get the new house, and then you move, and then in essence you're moving maybe 2-3 times. So those are all things to think about when you're looking and thinking about buying before selling. Now the other option that we didn't talk about yet is if you can carry your current house mortgage and the next one, a lot of times that also helps you not have to move twice as well. So basically you can shop at your own leisure. You're not in a rush to buy, you're not in a rush to sell. We're able to go house shopping. You find a home that you love, we write an offer, we get your home, we get keys to your home, and then we're selling your other home after you've moved everything in, because you're able to carry both mortgages. This is not a bridge loan. This is actually being able to carry both mortgages at the same time. Then once we sell your house, then we can actually close that one off, pay it all off, and then you're back down to one mortgage again. Not everyone can do this, and this is why it's so important to talk to a mortgage broker to make sure that you can do these things. You can't assume anything. You can't assume you're going to get a bridge mortgage or be able to carry both properties. In order to have the least stressful time with this whole selling and buying at the same time, you've got to talk to the right people and you've got to talk to the right team. We're definitely happy to hook you up if that's something you're thinking about. We're always available to talk. Hopefully this video helped you figure out how to coordinate the move, and congratulations on the move, because it's usually a pretty exciting time to be moving from one house to the other.